And now all of a sudden, because you popped a baby out your coochie, she's not a baby anymore. When I finally was able to get this degree, my baby comes. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. But hey y'all, hi, if you're new here, my name is Destiny Michelle. And if you're not new here, welcome back. But let's jump right in, because we gotta talk. Motherhood has been hard. There's no way that you can really prepare, and so I'm just kind of getting acclimated with everything. And baby, it's been difficult. And that's really what this FaceTime call is about. I really just want to talk to y'all about adjusting to having 2 children, what that's been like for me, and things that have been kind of making it hard. First, they say that your heart grows by 2, but your patience does not. I feel like I'm having all these expectations on my oldest to be bigger and smarter and more aware and more attuned, and it's like, she's a preschooler. She's still a baby. She's only 4 years old. And I'm so quick to anger because I think that like hormones and just postpartum stress, period. Having a newborn is not for the weak. And when you're trying to take care of 2 children and be attuned to the both of them, it's really difficult. And I don't think people talk about that enough. That is one of the biggest reasons why I'm choosing not to have a gaggle of children, because I want to be there emotionally, physically, financially for all of them. And I know that I just won't be able to spread myself that thin over more than like 3 kids. I just found myself being so mean, and I hate that. And I love her so much. I love my oldest with everything in my being. That's who made me a mother. That is who I went through all my experiences with. This is how I learned everything that I know about motherhood. The way that I am a good mother to my second daughter is because of everything that I went through with her. I owe her literally the world. That's something that I can never take from her, and I love her dearly for it. I get sad when I'm like, girl, like go in there and da da da, like you know how to do this. Stop crying for that. Stop whatever. I'm like, girl, stop being like that. She's a baby. She was just your baby. You were putting all of your attention on her, investing all of your time and energy into her, and now all of a sudden, because you popped a baby out your coochie, she's not a baby anymore. I really be having to check myself. I do constantly check myself, but I still find myself slipping at times. I know that once it leaves my mouth, she can sense my mood. It's already thrown off, and I feel so bad about it, and I'm really working to undo that. I might need to go to therapy. I might need to learn how to regulate my own emotions even more so that I'm not being that kind of mom to her, because she doesn't deserve that. The second thing that's been hard about having another child is the birth did not go the way that I wanted it to, and I think that I'm gonna upload like a birth story time, so we'll get more in depth in that in another video. It was really traumatic. Everything moved so slow but so fast at the same time. I wasn't expecting to go into labor that day, and so I feel like I grieved the process that I wanted it to be. I had a hard time with my first birth. My daughter's dad was in jail. It was just a lot going on. I could go deeper into that as well in another video, but it was just a lot going on, and I knew that when I had a second baby that I wanted things to go to the best of our ability, better than the last time. I know that birth is not like this peaches and cream moment, but blood pressure went down. I was throwing up all over myself, cold, convulsing. My baby ended up having to go to the NICU. It was just so much. I didn't know how to handle that. For that to be my introduction, I'm one of those people that believes in omens and signs. And when you're postpartum, you can mistake anything to be an omen, anything to be a sign. Is this a precursor for how chaotic this is gonna be? I just was having all these different thoughts, and put me in a place, I'm not even gonna lie, to the point where I felt disconnected. And with her being in the NICU, trying to make milk, she wasn't next to me. Everything was so laced with stress. 0 out of 10, would not recommend. But I'm glad that she's safe. I'm glad that she's healthy. I'm glad I'm safe and healthy. At the end of the day, she got here one way. For the third thing, she literally came the day before I graduated from college. If you're new here, I was homeless for 6 months. I left a pretty toxic relationship. I faced homelessness before becoming homeless multiple times, which was incredibly stressful on me. My daughter's dad was incarcerated for a while, so I was a single mother in that aspect. Once he got out of jail, things were pretty toxic. It was hard trying to understand the kind of co-parenting dynamic that we had. He was there for some parts, and then some parts he wasn't. I still had to show up as a mother in all of those instances. I ended up taking time away from college to focus on working. I went through all of that, and I finally was able to get this degree, and my baby comes. She is way more important than anything, but I was hurt. Not by her, but just by the situation, the circumstances. This was my moment. This was my moment to graduate. This was my moment to walk the stage. I wasn't even going to have anyone be there cheering me on in the crowd but my fiance. It wasn't a moment of like brandishing anything. It was a moment to feel proud of myself and to celebrate myself, and I felt like it kind of got ripped away from me because I ended up going into labor. It made me feel so selfish to feel that way. Right now, that hurts. So instead of being like, well, it wasn't that bad, and well, there's pros and cons, and well, my baby's here, that just hurt. And it's okay to sit with that, and it's okay to just be like, that shit hurt. I don't like that. It hurt my feelings. It stinks. It does. I don't think there's any way that I could celebrate myself that would feel equivalent. I feel like it'll just be kind of like a makeup to the moment that I deserved. It's just bittersweet. I also I've been grieving the relationship that I have with my parents. My dad passed away by carbon monoxide poisoning when I was 11 years old, and I am 25. Especially with me getting engaged, I think about all the moments that he won't be here. I think about the fact that he has not met his grandchildren. I know he would have loved them. The fact that he couldn't come in the hospital and make sure that I was okay. Whenever I hit a major milestone moment like me graduating or me getting engaged or me having my second child, I think about him a lot. It never leaves my mind, but I think about him heavy in those times because I'm like, ugh, I know you would have loved to be here. I know you would have wanted to share that moment with me and you couldn't. That sucks. And I have a pretty strained relationship with my mom as well. That's a very deep topic. We just don't have the best relationship. She's still alive and well, but we just don't talk. We're not really at odds. We've existed without each other for a while, and so I think our normal is to exist without each other. It hurts. I welcomed my second child without her present. Hard navigating becoming a mother when you still have a mother wound yourself. I think that plays into the first thing that I was talking about, that short fuse, that kind of anger, the anticipatory anxiety and frustration. I miss her and I miss my dad. I wish that I had parents when I'm trying to learn to be a parent, and I wish that I could fall back on mommy and daddy, and I can't. It makes it hard emotionally. And the last thing that's been making it like really hard for me, the unfair expectations that I've been kind of setting on myself. One of them being milk supply completely dropped. I kind of got a taste of freedom. I wasn't stuck to the wall 24/7, and people have told me just use like the mobile pumps and just do it that way, but they don't get everything out, and I was getting mastitis, and it was just so much that came with pumping that when I wasn't, I felt great, but then I also felt so disconnected because I was spreading myself thin. I was trying to be more with my 4-year-old because she's aware more, so it's like, okay, let me make sure that I'm being there for her, and she was having behavioral issues because of the adjustments. I'm having to spend a lot of time with her, and I'm still in college, still working, and I'm still doing all these different things. Oh, and having a newborn, so it was just like, that was just the last thing that was on my mind. But I felt like that was one of the ways that I could connect with my newborn, and I just stripped myself of it. And now I'm gonna have to work 10 times harder to get it back. And it's just been making me so sad. My fiance keeps reassuring me, you are not just the milk that you give your daughter. Like, show up for her in so many different ways. You're an amazing mother. And if you don't make milk, she can get formula and she will be fine. That's not what I want to hear. I've been down on myself about it. Another thing is I did not snap back. I am the heaviest that I've ever been in my entire life. Like post-pregnancy weight, I weigh 165. In high school, a lot of people know, like, I went through abuse. Malnutrition was one of the things that was a part of that. So I was skating on like 95 to 105 pounds. I never brushed over like 110. Then I got into my relationship with my fiance. That happy weight hit me, and I was like 145 for the longest. Then I got pregnant and I shot all the way up to 195. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I'm not used to seeing on myself. And so I'm having to love myself in this new form when I've been kind of locked in this rigid caricature of myself, I guess. So that's been new for me. I'm still eating crazy. I'm not working out. Where's my self-esteem at? Where's my confidence? It's been hitting me like a truck, girl. That's just a few things that have been making it a little bit difficult in my transition into having 2 kids and being a mother to 2 kids. For now, I'm sad about them, but this is the kind of stuff that people actually want to see. Not the curated content, not the, oh, my life is so perfect, but like, yo, bro, I'm not feeling good. And like, hey, is anybody else not feeling good? Because I'm not feeling fucking good right now. This is how I'm feeling right now. But anyway, y'all, thank you for answering my FaceTime. Like, comment, and follow for more.